Chapter 1123. Demi had lost all confidence in her armed forces. After all, they had just lost to someone at the sanctuary level. Of course, she had been in the industry long enough to keep her composure in such a situation. After the initial shock wore off, she said, "It seems that you have decided to spare me, Mr. Penn. Is there something you want from me?" "Yes, of course," Wilbur replied calmly. "Tell your father that I can take down the other three main forces for him so you will reign supreme over all of North Manand. But on the condition that you form an alliance with the Manand government and agree to operate under their control. Also, you're going to free every last Dasha citizen here as compensation. I'll help you after that." Demi fell silent, pondering the choice. Wilbur then said, "Remember, this isn't a discussion. It's an order. If you refuse, I'm going to wipe out all four major forces here, now. Leave this building with your man. You have 1 day." Demi nodded. "I'll pass the message to my father verbatim." Wilbur said nothing more, and Demi limped out of the office, clutching the wound at her shoulder. Very soon, all the staff of Leaker Corp retreated out of the headquarters under Demi's instructions. Just then, Sophie stared at Wilbur blankly. It was as if he was a whole different person now. Wilbur could not help but shake his head. The department's entire plan had been upended because of this girl, giving Wilbur no choice but to act ahead of time. Nothing was certain now. Wilbur did not fear for his own life. His last resort would be to just fight his way out. However, he was acting on behalf of the Department of Paranormal Research and Defense on behalf of Dasha. One slip-up would lead to an international conflict. The West might take advantage of this and go to town with a smear campaign on Dasha. Wilbur could not help but worry about that. Just then, Sophie mumbled, "Did I mess things up, Mr. Penn?" Wilbur glanced at her. "Well, you did nothing wrong from your perspective. I'm to be blamed. You're no traitor. You're a national hero." Sophie lowered her head in shame. It was only then that she finally realized Wilbur had no intention of betraying the nation after all. Instead, he was trying to save his own people. Everything he had done so far had been because of this. In comparison to that, Sophie's actions seemed so childish and laughable. To think that she had thought this man was a traitor. Sophie clutched her head in pain, then fell to her knees and sobbed. She knew she had messed up big time. She had upended Wilbur's plan, exposing the both of them. Wilbur glanced at her. "It's all right to make a few mistakes in your life, you know. What matters is whether or not you have the courage to get back up." Sophie looked up at Wilbur in a daze. Wilbur's tone remained calm. "Take care of yourself after this." Over at the governor's office, Griffin Madres, governor of Muatown and the head commander-in-chief of the Kulin border militants, glanced at his daughter's missing arm with an ashen expression. A few doctors were currently circling around Demi, who sat still as a rock. "That's what happened, Dad." Griffin looked at his daughter. "That man thinks he can take down the other three main forces on his own? What gave him the nerve to even think that would be possible, even if he is at the sanctuary level?" "Well, what should we do then?" Griffin said coldly. "Gather the troops and surround the Leaker headquarters. I'd like to meet this audacious man myself." Just then, a wrinkled elder spoke up from where he was standing next to Griffin. "Let me go with you, Governor Madres. I haven't met someone of the sanctuary level this young in a long time." "Itching for a fight, are you, Master Lowen?" said Griffin. The elder, Master Lowen, smiled lightly. "Indeed. Things have been so quiet here for the past decade that I'm starting to feel a little useless myself.